Well, viewers, we'll talk about a scam that was conveniently brushed under the carpet by the Siddaramaiah government. I have Niranjan as well, who will bring you that explosive, exclusive and expose today against the Congress government. Yes, Niranjan.
Well, for the first time on national television, we have accessed the full files, the MUDA files. Now, for the last few months, there has been a huge coverage. There is something called the MUDA scam that has been discussed. What people know so far is that the Karnataka Chief Minister is facing the heat. But what many people don't know or don't have access to is the truth about what really happened. For the first time, I have with me in my hand the entire MUDA files, runs into several hundred pages. And these are documents that are not in the public domain. And these are documents dating back to nearly 32 to 34 years old. Before I take you through these documents, let's take a look at the story that threatens the Karnataka Chief Minister Siddaramaiah. He will be prosecuted if the court hears his case tomorrow. A decision will be taken on whether he can be prosecuted. The Karnataka governor has allowed sanction to prosecute the Chief Minister in this particular case. It's a case of conflict of interest. It's a case of impropriety. It's a case of land loot. Take a look at the story so far and we'll give you the full details of what these documents unravel. Siddaramaiah is the Congress party's last fort in the south, the final commander in charge of the party's southern bastion.
ನಾವು ಅಧಿಕಾರಕ್ಕೆ ಬಂದ 8 ತಿಂಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ದುಡಿದಂತೆ ನಡೆದಿದ್ದೇವೆ, ನಾವು ಕೊಟ್ಟ ಭರವಸೆಗಳನ್ನು ಈಡೇರಿಸಿದ್ದೇವೆ ಅಂತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಮಾತುಗಳನ್ನು ಕೂಡ ಹೇಳಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಬಯಸ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೇವೆ. ನಾವು ಭಾರತೀಯ ಜನತಾ ಪಕ್ಷದ ರೀತಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಜೆಡಿಎಸ್ ಪಕ್ಷದ ರೀತಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಕೊಟ್ಟ ಮಾತಿಗೆ ತಪ್ಪಿಸಿಕೊಳ್ಳೋರಲ್ಲ. ಏನು ಮಾತು ಕೊಡ್ತೇವೆ ಚುನಾವಣಾ ಸಂದರ್ಭದಲ್ಲಿ ಅವನ್ನ 100ಕ್ಕೆ 100 ಈಡೇರಿಸತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಕೆಲಸವನ್ನ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೇವೆ.
A former JDS leader who quit to join the Congress and grew through the ranks. The growth and rise of Siddaramaiah has been as fast as his fall. In a decade, it's come a full circle.
The illegal sanction has been given by the governor. Because he is acted according to the direction of the government of India.
He has claimed to have a clean image in political life. But as ironic as it sounds, he's the Robert Vadra in the Congress in the year 2024. The MUDA, or Mysuru Urban Development Authority land scam, is haunting him today. The story starts in 1992 when a preliminary notification is made public to notify land. That's where the story begins. Siddaramaiah is nowhere in the picture. That's until 1997 when a farmer steps forward and he claims the land is his. Check what happens next. 5 years after the notification to develop this land, measuring 3 acres and 16 guntas, the son of the original landlord called Ninga steps forward. His son Devaraj applies for denotification. This means, as government had already taken over the full tract of land, there was an objection from just one person who came out of nowhere saying he wants the land back. His claim that the plot was in the periphery or the corner of the notified site, a lie. Look at this map. The land in question is bang in the middle. It's not in the periphery, it's the center. This is lie number 1.
The land once notified and taken away by the government cannot be denotified. That's the rule, and it's illegal to do so. The government body was supposed to give over a 3 lakh compensation for the farmer, but Chief Minister's brother-in-law pays about 6 lakh rupees to the farmer for the same land. It was a great deal back then in 2004. The poor farmer family says okay and goes ahead.
Once the land is bought, the series of illegalities begin. Imagine that this land by that time had already been converted into a well-developed layout. There were sites and those sites were being sold. But the Chief Minister's family begins a paper trail to fake the reality. They pretend like the land was never developed. In 2005, there is an application by the Chief Minister's brother-in-law to convert the land. They fake the nature of the land without inspection. The land is claimed to be agricultural. They seek conversion on paper. 5 years after the nature of the land is faked, Siddaramaiah's wife enters the picture. She simply gifted the land And they even lie about the nature of the land, calling it agricultural land. And this is at a time when there's a paper trail being created calling it agricultural land, while on the ground, the land in question has been developed and sold already as plots. Imagine this, sold as plots but fake trail created as agricultural land. Interestingly, this was at a time, the gifting of the land was at a time when Siddaramaiah himself was asking for Yediyurappa's resignation over a denotification scam. 4 years later, just as the Modi government had taken charge, Siddaramaiah's wife, who so far had faked the nature of the land, for the first time admits what she faked all along. She claims the land was already developed. The same Parvathi Siddaramaiah who claimed the land was agricultural does a U-turn to say the land was developed in 2001. She claims she must be compensated. At this point, Siddaramaiah was the Chief Minister of Karnataka. She goes for the jugular. Perhaps she knows the time is right.
At the time when Siddaramaiah's wife seeks for the compensation, she argues that she should be provided with an equal amount of compensation to compensate whatever was taken away by MUDA. She clearly rejects the 40-60 formula which was in the place then. And the MUDA, the body, also passes a resolution to make sure that CM's wife gets what she wants.
ನಾವು ಇಂಥ ಕೊಡೆ ವಿಜಯನಗರದ 3ನೇ ಸ್ಟೇಜು 4ನೇ ಸ್ಟೇಜ್ನಲ್ಲಿ ಕೊಡಿ ಅಂತ ಕೇಳಿಲ್ಲ. ನಮಗೆ ಪರ್ಯಾಯವಾಗಿ ನೀವು 50-50 ಕೊಡ್ತೀನಿ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ದೀರಿ, ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಒಪ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದೀವಿ. ನಾವು 50-50 ಕೊಡ್ತೀನಿ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ದೀರಿ, ಕೊಡ್ರಿ ನಮಗೆ ಪರ್ಯಾಯ ಕೊಡಿ ಅಂತ. ಆಯ್ತಪ್ಪ, ಲ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ಟು ಲ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ನಮಗೆ 3 ಎಕರೆ 16 ಗುಂಟೆ ಕೊಡಬೇಕು. ಆ್ಯಕ್ಚುಲಿ ನಮ್ಮ ಜಮೀನನ್ನು ನೀವು ಸೈಟ್ ಮಾಡಿಬಿಟ್ಟು ಪಾರ್ಕ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಎಲ್ಲ ಹಂಚಿಬಿಟ್ಟು ಹಾಗಾದ್ರೆ 3 ಎಕರೆ 16 ಗುಂಟೆ ನಾವು ಬಿಟ್ಬಿಡೋದ? ನಾನು ಮುಖ್ಯಮಂತ್ರಿ ಅಂತ ಬಿಟ್ಬಿಡೋದೇನ್ರಿ?
Republic Kannada has accessed a document, and we have with us a document from 2014. And in 2014, the Chief Minister was Siddaramaiah. What this document shows, and has been signed by his wife Parvathi, and in that document clearly she's seeking compensatory land in a prime location. And very interestingly, the line that she mentions, the area where she wants the land, has been erased by a whitener, as you see in this particular document.
That Chief Minister's wife, the request from her to get compensatory land, all these things misusing the office of Deputy Chief Minister and Chief Minister. Siddaramaiah's under his administration only.
At that point, she was entitled to just compensation in cash and 2 sites of 60-40 square foot sizes each, and that too as an incentive. Instead, Parvathi Siddaramaiah was compensated with sites totaling 38,000 square feet. She's given 14 sites. The year is 2021. Over a year after the scheme was scrapped by the BJP, and the land is given in Mysuru's prime locality of Vijayanagara. Today, the land that was gifted to Siddaramaiah is valued at over 65 crore rupees. Imagine that a poor farmer who was given 5,95,000, 5,95,000, that was the money given to the farmer. Eventually, the value of the land that was gifted to the Chief Minister's wife in return was 65 crore rupees after a series of illegalities and a series of instances where officials and the system bent the rules. Farmer gets 6 lakhs, CM's wife gets plots valued at 65 crore rupees. This was just the tip of the iceberg of what was happening in what is now called the MUDA scam. It's not just Siddaramaiah. There are other politicians involved. There are many more scams waiting to break out, and Republic is on top of it. The courts will decide on the matter on the 29th of August. They will weigh the merits of the case as revealed by Republic. But can a leader who is the Chief Minister of a state remain the Chief Minister of state when his own government will investigate his family? The circle of conflict now haunts Siddaramaiah. And as we look at the documents closely, the entire land scam file is with us, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to take you through the files one by one, and what we have exposed in the last few days along with Republic Kannada and the Republic Media Network, we've gone through each and every document. These are documents that even the Chief Minister is responding to. The Chief Minister is officially responding to some of these documents because he finds himself in a spot. Let's play out breaking number one. I have with me a document in my hand, and this is a document that was written in the year 2014. And it is a document signed by the Chief Minister's wife, in 2014. And in this document, what is very, very interesting is that this particular document, and if you can see this particular line, the whole line here has been erased using a whitener. Now, it is extremely controversial because this particular line is the clincher. This document is the clincher where the Chief Minister's wife asked for prime property. And this letter, ironically, was written in the year 2014 when Siddaramaiah was the Chief Minister. When he's the Chief Minister, the wife writes a letter asking for where she wanted the land allotted. And very, very interestingly, this particular line, in the last few months, we have been told that this original document has been erased using a whitener. So why would anybody in the government, any official, use a whitener to erase a line which is a government record? That becomes a very, very big mystery to which even the Chief Minister has responded. And in this particular document, the Chief Minister's wife had gone on to say to this body that was allotting her land that she was eligible for land in a prime location. Now, she writes that she was supposed to be compensated but was never compensated, and then argues why she needs to get the land at a prime location. But very interestingly, the address of that particular land where she was requesting, and it is a document in Kannada, she is requesting where she wants the land. That particular line has been erased using a whitener. It's been wiped out using a whitener, and you can make out in this document that there are parts here that show that there is text, but that is clearly erased out. Not a clean job, but it's been done. And that is why the Chief Minister is in a spot. If there was nothing to hide, why was this document that confirms that the Chief Minister's family asked for land at a particular location, why was this document erased? Let's go to the next breaking. The Chief Minister himself has responded. And that is the second breaking that we have on the story. The Chief Minister himself has responded 2 days back to the story that was broken by Republic Kannada. And when he tweeted, the Chief Minister first confirms that yes, a document like this exists. The Chief Minister, through his tweet, had confirmed that yes, a document exists, and he spoke about the whitener. And very interestingly, the Chief Minister of Karnataka puts out a video, and in that video, and if I have that video, I'll just play that out. It's a video that was put out by the official handle of the Karnataka Chief Minister. It's bizarre. It's bizarre that the Karnataka Chief Minister would actually put out a video like that. And in that video, he has point number one, he has confirmed, and that is the video that you see on the screen, ladies and gentlemen. That is the video put out by the Chief Minister. He has responded to the Republic Kannada news break. Second, he has confirmed that this portion was erased. And third, a sitting Chief Minister says that somebody used a torchlight. He actually puts out in that video, you can see a spotlight on the document. He says, when you put a torchlight to the document, you can see that there was no prime land. He says there is no prime land that is mentioned, but the land where they were supposed to get the land, they say that that particular address was mentioned. He tried to actually justify it and say that there was absolutely nothing wrong in this entire exercise, to say that, they did not ask for prime land location, which is absolutely not the case. And that is breaking number two. And quickly, let me go across, because it's a very, very detailed story. And in the course of a few minutes, we can't tell you the full story, which runs into thousands of pages. I'm going to take you through the key aspects of it. Let me take you to breaking number 3 right now. If we have the third breaking, let's put that out. And breaking number 3 of the MUDA scam files that I wanted to bring you in this minute. What makes it even worse for the Chief Minister is that he's not just responding to each and every breaking news story. He also is raising more questions with each of his response, because Republic TV has also accessed an RTI copy that shows how, and we have a graphic of this document. Let me put up the document as well of the RTI reply. And essentially what this RTI reply confirms, ladies and gentlemen, is that the Chief Minister. So let me simplify the story for you. The Karnataka Chief Minister is on a spot because, one, the manner in which his family acquired the land comes into question. There are many illegalities, dubious land transactions that have taken place, dubious paper trail that has now been exposed, and even assuming that he was to be compensated land. And if anybody is aware of how land transactions and compensation takes place, if you lose land, let's say in Lutyens, Delhi, assuming that you lose land in Greater Noida, which is about 30-40 kilometers from Lutyens, Delhi, it's like saying I gave up my land in Greater Noida, but I deserve to get land in Lutyens, Delhi, and that is the case here because the Chief Minister's family has got prime land that was valued at about 5 lakh rupees, but in today's date, the land that he eventually got was 65 crore rupees. The Chief Minister himself has accepted that particular figure. Now, what this RTI document proves is that where the original land existed, there were at least 3,500 sites that were available to be allotted. If 3,500 sites were available to be allotted in that particular area where the Chief Minister's family gave away the land to this body called MUDA, among these 3,500 sites, they should have ideally been allocated land in this particular area or region only. Instead, what they did is that they got out of turn allotment in a prime location. So this is Vijayanagara in Mysuru. The land itself was in a place called Kesare Grama in Mysuru, on the edges of the city, but eventually they asked for compensation and got compensation in a prime location called Vijayanagara. And this is an RTI document that confirms that even though 3,500 sites were available in the original area, instead all of these sites were kept aside and yet they were given prime land allocation, which is one, illegal, two, was never ratified legally. And that brings us to part number 4. I'm going to go across to part number 4, the series of conflict. And let me tell you, when this letter was written in 2014, the Chief Minister of the state was Siddaramaiah. And when finally this RTI document came out, the Chief Minister is still Siddaramaiah. But let me tell you, the biggest conflict that we have also seen in this particular story brings us to part number 4. Breaking number 4, another document that confirms the conflict of interest in this particular case, ladies and gentlemen. I have with me in my hand a document that shows that the Chief Minister's son Yatindra is an MLA. He's not just an MLA in Mysuru, but at that time in 2020 when a decision was taken to give land to the Chief Minister's wife in a prime location, that decision was taken at a meeting where the Chief Minister's son himself was present. So can you imagine the Chief Minister's son was present in a meeting where it was decided where the Chief Minister's family will get land. So that's the clearest case of conflict. I have with me the document which is now in the public domain. And this document confirms that on the 20th of November 2020, there were all these people present. And most importantly and interestingly, number 10 here, Yatindra S. Yatindra S is Yatindra Siddaramaiah, and he was present at this meeting in 2020. So can you imagine at this particular time, in this point, Siddaramaiah was the leader of opposition. His son is not just an MLA but also a member of this body at MUDA, which is giving the Prime Minister, the Chief Minister's family prime property. And he sat in a meeting where a decision was eventually taken to give prime land to the Chief Minister's wife. This actually happened. So when you look at the series of documents that we've exposed in the last 15 to 20 minutes, it's clear that there are many illegalities, and we'll continue to bring you more aspects of this story in the next few hours. But one thing is clear, that the MUDA scam, it's not just about Siddaramaiah. Siddaramaiah is just one aspect of the story. But what we are hearing is that in this particular area, in this region in Mysuru, different politicians cutting across party lines have benefited. Different politicians have managed to get themselves prime property by cheating those who are eligible or by pushing out those who are eligible. So imagine this, a 32-year trail. The Chief Minister's family is nowhere in the picture. A poor family is paid off about 5.95 lakh rupees. What was valued at 5.95 lakh rupees at one point of time, today becomes 65 crore rupees of prime land that is allotted to the Chief Minister. And when there are hundreds and hundreds of cases of people who are waiting, who apply and never are made eligible or are given eligibility, the Chief Minister has benefited hugely with this. And if you go through the series of illegalities, the Chief Minister at one point does not even admit, in one of the affidavits that is filed, he does not even give out the full details of this particular land. So it's a story that's developing, and we here at Republic TV will continue to get you the details. I'm handing it back to you for now. We will get you more reactions to the story in just a few minutes as the day progresses. Back to you for now.